July the 30th, 2019. As you're looking at one of the links on our website at BPEarthWatch.com, it's called Eyes on the Solar System. It's not in the top links, it's in the large section in the middle. And I've got this set at today's date, July the 30th, 2019. Now tomorrow there's a couple of events that we need to watch because of earthquakes. One is this, and it's called a black moon, not a blue moon, but a black moon, and it will be an alignment between the sun and the earth tomorrow. We'll stop it on July 31st, notice at the bottom. And as I go through this, I'll tilt it up and give you a better view. But we won't be able to see it because it is in the full glare of the sun. Usually we see the reflection of the moon. If it's a full moon or a close moon behind us, we're seeing the reflection from the sun. But now as I pull this back and kind of line it up, you can see that dot right in the center, guys. I know it's probably hard on the cell phone, but it's going to come directly between the earth and the sun, and there's going to be an alignment, a magnetic alignment between the sun, the moon, and the earth. And let me pull this down to scale just to give you an idea of actually how close the moon is. So when it lines up with the sun tomorrow, again, they're calling it a black moon, you're going to have, and because it's also the closest approach of the moon during this period, you're going to have increased effects on your tides and on your pressure on your tectonic plates. Now, the only thing behind it basically is Jupiter, but it's not in alignment right now. But this black moon alignment, guys, is coinciding with 4 different rapid-fire solar streams that are coming from different coronal holes on the sun. Now, let's go back and look at this again. It says we've seen all kind of interesting phases of the moon, the super blood moons to full warm supermoons to even the stunning strawberry moon. But tomorrow, July 31st, will mark a rare occurrence for Earth's natural satellite, phenomenon known as a black moon. The rare celestial event will occur tomorrow in North America, marking the first occurrence since 2016. The rest of the planet will see the black moon on August 30th, a month away. Although there's no one single definition of a black moon, according to time and date, it is most commonly used to represent the second new moon of a month. It says new moons are not able to be seen as they travel across the sky with the sun during the day, according to earthsky.org. That's where this is coming from, guys. But the gravitational influence of the new moon and sun combine to physically affect our water planet, which people along the ocean coastlines may notice in the coming days. Also, watch your tectonic plates. It says tomorrow's black moon will also be a supermoon, which means the new moon happens at the closest point to the Earth in its monthly orbit. So you've got a perfect alignment and the close approach. That's not the only thing that we're watching, guys. We have 3 named coronal holes, and what you've got is an opening in the magnetic canopy of the surface of the sun, and the solar stream pours straight at our planet. But there's another opening that they are not mentioning here, and it's in the center next to a filament. It's called holes in the sun's atmosphere. Earth is about to be strobed by 3 streams of solar wind. It's actually 4, each flowing from a hole in the sun's atmosphere. The SDO photographed these spigots on July the 29th. These are coronal holes, places where the sun's magnetic field peels back and allows solar wind to escape. The coronal holes look dark in extreme ultraviolet images. And guys, that's what I'm pointing out. You got a filament here also, which we haven't seen in a while, but that dark area will come right behind the one to the far right. In other words, when we see these openings, you've got a day or 2, usually about 48 hours, depending on the speed of the solar stream, before that stream hits the Earth 93 million miles away. So as you see it, Earth facing directly, it's not going to get to us for a couple days. Now here's what's happening. This is live, July 31st. In the purple line, this is solar wind speed, and it's rapidly accelerating. Now, it's not through either. This we're going to have the coronal hole that you saw that's affecting us now. Then right behind it, the one that they didn't name or didn't point out. So you're going to have 2 back to back. and then you're going to have a slight delay, and then the double effect on both poles of our planet from the two behind that. But again, we're seeing a sudden increase in the solar wind speed. And guys, that's approaching 1 million miles per hour. Now, looking at the Earth's shields, the magnetopoles, we started out earlier in the day, everything looked calm. But as you saw that on the chart there in the purple line where the solar wind speed started increasing, the Earth's shields started feeling it. Now, the shields are weak. We're in grand solar minimum. But look at this. You're getting into 1500 hours UTC time. It's about 5 hours ahead of us, guys. So you're looking at around noon. We started seeing the effects of this on the East Coast. But we went through the afternoon, we started to see the effects increase. And that's the pressure from these solar wind streams. And guys, we're just starting to get into that first one. So we have that effect. Tomorrow we're going to have the effect that they're talking about of the black moon. And if we look at California for a minute, the aftershocks have picked up slightly in intensity, 3.1 or 3.5 or 3.6. But notice that 410 of the quakes worldwide on this map, now that's not all of them, USGS, 427 of them are there in the Ridgecrest area. And what we're looking at again is this Owens Valley, and it's known through history as being very volcanic. Again, 3.5, Searles Valley, very shallow, 6.2 kilometers. And what are we dealing with here? It's still approaching this fault zone here called the Garlock Fault that moves west and southwest into the most dangerous fault on the planet, the San Andreas Fault. So, guys, in that area, watch for the effects going on for the next couple of days as far as the combined effects of the solar wind speed and the black moon. Now, also, the solar wind speed will increase over the next 4 or 5 days. You'll see it peak, and then it'll come back down as we get this rapid fire effect of 4 different openings on the sun that are hitting us at different times because of their location and proximity to our planet. You can see with 4.5, some 5.3, things like that around the planet, nothing major, but let's keep a very close eye on this. Another thing with grand solar minimum, and you saw the effects on our magnetopoles, that allows more gamma radiation to penetrate, especially in the poles. And we're seeing the Siberian fires, the Alaska fires. Now we're starting to see Northern California fires. Guys, one popped up last night and burned through 10,000 acres. I'll do an update on that. But things are heating up on the top of the planet. Why? Because you have very thin shielding, and we're going through this extreme gamma radiation series through these solar wind streams. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.